students, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we'll be studying about bonding in carbon and versatile nature of carbon. In part 1 video, we have discussed about allotropes of carbon. The link will be provided in the description box. Also, we will discuss top 3 questions by the end of this video. Bonding in carbon. What type of bonds carbon forms? As we have already discussed in the last video, atomic number of carbon is 6. So the electronic configuration will be 2, 4. So what will be the valency? 4. The outermost shell or the valence shell contains 4 electrons. That is, carbon has 2 shells here. That is, first shell has 2 electrons and second shell contains 4 electrons. If carbon needs to get balanced, then it needs 4 more electrons to become octet and become stable. As we know, the electronic configuration of carbon is 2, 4. So it needs 4 more electrons, right? So if it gets 4 more electrons, it will be 2, 8. And do you know whose configuration is 2, 8? It is neon. We know that to attain stability, carbon needs to have the noble gas configuration. So if it gains 4 more electrons, it will be like neon. Another option for carbon to become stable is it can lose those 4 electrons that is in the valence shell. If it happens so, then K shell will have only 2 electrons. So if carbon loses those 4 electrons in the outermost shell, it will look like helium. So if carbon needs to make an ionic bond, it has to lose 4 electrons or it has to gain 4 electrons. That is, it can become C4 plus ion or C4 minus ion. We know that the nucleus of carbon contains 6 protons and 6 neutrons. The carbon cannot form C4 minus ions. Do you know why? This is because if it gains 4 more electrons, it would be difficult for its nucleus with 6 protons to hold on to 10 electrons. That is 4 extra electrons. So carbon cannot form C4 minus ions. Also, carbon cannot form C4 plus ions. Do you know why? If carbon loses 4 electrons, it will require a large amount of energy to remove 4 electrons, leaving behind a carbon cation with 6 protons in its nucleus holding on to just 2 electrons. So carbon cannot gain or lose 4 electrons, which means that it cannot form ionic bonds. So what will carbon do? Yes, you are right. The only option for carbon is to share its electron. So carbon can share its valence electrons with other atoms of carbon or with atoms of other elements by forming covalent bonds. So what is the bonding in carbon? It is covalent bonding. Let's see one example how carbon forms covalent bonds with hydrogen. Carbon shares its total 4 electrons, one with each hydrogen, and all the 4 hydrogen shares their 1 electron each with carbon. Hence covalent bonding takes place here, and here methane is formed. Now we move on to the next topic, that is versatile nature of carbon. Versatile means its unique nature. What is the unique nature of carbon? There are two properties that makes carbon unique. First one is tetravalency. Tetra means 4. So it is the ability of carbon to make 4 covalent bonds. We know that carbon has a valency of 4. So it is capable of bonding with 4 other atoms of carbon or atoms of some other elements. As we know, carbon has no possibility of losing or gaining 4 electrons. So the only option for carbon is to share its 4 electrons by making covalent bonds. Now the second property which makes carbon unique is catenation. So catenation is the unique property of carbon to form bonds with other carbon atoms, giving rise to large number of molecules. Due to catenation, compounds of carbon have long chains of carbon, branch chains of carbon, and even carbon atoms arranged in rings. So catenation and tetravalency are the two properties that makes carbon unique. Now let's discuss the top 3 questions. First one, explain why carbon forms compound mainly by covalent bonds. The answer is carbon has 4 electrons in its outermost shell, but losing or gaining 4 electrons is not possible due to energy considerations, hence it shares electrons to form covalent bonds. Second question is, explain in brief 2 main reasons for carbon forming a large number of compounds. The 2 reasons are catenation and tetravalency. And you need to define what is catenation and what is tetravalency. Catenation is the unique ability of carbon to form bonds with other atoms of carbon, giving rise to long chains of different types of compounds. Second one is tetravalency. That since carbon has a valency of 4, it is capable of bonding with 4 other atoms of carbon or atoms of elements like oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen, etc. Question number 3. Why does carbon form strong bonds with most other elements? This is because of its small size, which enables the nucleus to hold on to the shared pairs of electrons strongly. That's why carbon forms strong bonds with most other elements. Today we have discussed about bonding in carbon and versatile nature of carbon. We will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching and do subscribe to my channel for more videos.